Tired of this old house, gotta get out. Gonna get a little bit loud. Cold drinks and friends all around. Headed to the lake.
Once again, I find myself doing the same dance with the same partner. And I guess expecting different results, and of course I didn't get them. So this is gonna be just a real quick update. Frustration has kind of set in, and I've got to get creative and just think outside the box here and go a different route. So here's what's going on. For the second time, I have bought a set of headers that were supposed to be made for this car. Now, in the car's defense and in the header's defense, the first set of headers were not made for an FE engine. The first set of headers I had in here were designed for 63 and 64 Ford Galaxies with the 385 series. Well, it was designed specifically for a 63, 64 Ford Galaxy with a 429 or 460. It's what they were designed for. The flanges were close enough on the first set I had in here that I simply made a slice, heated them, and bend them so they'd fit the ports and bolted them up. And they never fit the car quite right. I had to beat them into place and bend them and twist them, and they drove the ground and things. And you've heard that story before. So I went out and bought this set of headers. These are a set of hooker headers that are supposed to be specifically designed for the 63, 64 Ford Galaxy. They won't fit. I guess they're supposed to fit, but where I'm running into a problem is right here. They don't fit. I hit between the head, the steering box, and the clutch linkage. That little triangle right there, they will not go in there. I took the clutch linkage, I took all that off, and they still don't fit. So they won't come in from the bottom because they hit they won't go past the clutch fork sticking out of the bell housing. So they can't come in from the bottom. They couldn't come in from the top because there's not enough room between the head and the steering box for that kick out for this other tube to hook to. Now you can hold them up beside the car and see that everything lines up, that everything would fall into place, but you can't get them past there. So I'd have to take the steering, I'd have to lift the motor up out of the car, put them on, then set it back down in there for it to work, and then hope that the clutch linkage worked. So it's getting to be a little frustrating. Then on this side over here, you can see a little better what I'm talking about on this side. These two, I finally finagled them in there. Of course, it has the other tubes that go around the frame and hook back into the exhaust here. But I finally got them on there. What I had to do to get them on there, I had to take the starter off. But then when I put the starter back, then I had to put the starter back on before I could tighten the header. Well, when I tighten the header, the tube is hitting the starter. And that's a little mini starter too. It's not a full factory starter. It is hitting my front suspension here. And this bottom tube is currently laying on top of the brake line. So I just don't know. I just don't get how set of headers. Now, this is the second set, mind you, of headers that are specifically designed for 63 and 64 Galaxies. Just do not fit my 63. I don't know if there's something different. Now on the driver's side, the header won't go in because of my scatter shield. The way the bottom of the scatter shield is made, they hit up on there. And I could maybe tweak that a little bit and make that work. But this side here is just a complete disaster also, so. Decisions. So there you go. The headers are whooping my butt. Now, I've had two sets of headers that are supposed to be designed for a 63, 64 Galaxy. Neither set have worked the way they're supposed to. I'm to the realization where I don't think any header actually fits this body car like they're supposed to. They may go on there, but I just don't see them going on there in a 4-speed car that they're not touching the clutch linkage, they're not touching the frame rail, or they're not touching the oil pan, or they're not up against the steering. The first set that was on this car, they rubbed the steering, they rubbed the clutch linkage, they completely laid on the oil pan and melted my engine diaper, and they completely laid on the frame. So they touched everything. These have a little bit, they're an 1/8 inch smaller tube. I believe it's 1/8 inch. I'd have to go back and measure it again. I talked about that in the last video. These have a little bit smaller tube, so I don't think they would lay on everything, but they're not gonna fit in there without laying on something. So I'm getting frustrated with them, and we're gonna go a different route, and we're gonna sit down and we're gonna figure some things out, take some measurements, and start from scratch and see where we can end up at. These are really gonna become the stumbling block. Thankfully, this time, before I pulled the motor out, I tried to pre-fit everything to see how it was gonna work, see where it was gonna lay it all, and discovered this issue. The last set, I didn't do all that. I was getting ready to, I had everything else done. It's time to fire it up, break in the motor, and head to the track, and went to put the headers on, and nothing would work. So I struggled for a couple of days fighting headers just so I could get the car running. This time, I was smart enough to at least try it ahead of time and find out what I'm running into. So there's a quick update. I'm gonna try to keep quick updates coming so the videos won't be so long, but that's what we're struggling with right now. We're struggling with headers. We're gonna have to figure some things out, and as soon as we come up with a good solution, we'll let you know. So stay tuned to that. Until then, God bless you.
I'm tired of this old house, gotta get out. Gonna get a little bit loud. Cold drinks and friends all around. Headed to the lake.